Welcome back, Silver Foxes. We hope you're enjoying our virtual senior fitness fair so far. If you're just now tuning in, I am Jessica McCready, your host for the question and answer portion of this virtual showcase that we have for you. Here we go one-on-one with professionals and specialists in all realms, and we talk everything fitness, life, and seniors. Up next, we have Mr. Kristoffer Doura, a former professional football player, now financial planner. Hello, Mr. Doura. How are you?
Well, good morning to you, Jessica. Thank you so much for having me this morning. Silver Fox, kudos to you and, your vision. I'm doing well. Woke up early this morning, got a great workout in. I already ran 3 laps. To be accurate on metrics, it was about 3.5 miles. And, I kept my momentum. And I'm excited because I'm blessed, I'm alive, and, I'm looking to keep building on top of those baby steps.
Well, we appreciate you so much for taking the time to talk with us and our seniors and really, really sharing your wealth of knowledge with us. So we appreciate you for that in advance.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's dig right in, Mr. Doura. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, I'm from the islands. I'm from Haiti, Haitian American. All my life, it's always been really focused on education and sports. And really, when you think about it, I think that's such a great mesh because what I encourage all walks of life, seniors, children, and in between is you want to make sure that you're keeping yourself hydrated. And you're approaching every single day with humility, and you're able to understand how important your health is. That's really what allowed me to get going as a professional. I'm from the islands, and when you think about it, we don't have the best sports programs, but being in the United States, I had the opportunity to play high school football for 1 year, and really that offered me a scholarship to university. When I went to college, I studied in the business, but I got paid to play. And really what that meant was to, practice, perform, and really be able to, set the stage. But all that, takes a process in itself and, making sure that I get the proper sleep, the proper nutrition, and making sure that I apply that at my best. That's really where you think about how sports and fitness brought me to where I'm at today as a successful business person. So when you think about it, I had a great opportunity in my career, but sports really was the foundation of how I've arrived where I'm at today. And I encourage all to continue, hydrating yourself, eating the right foods, and making sure that you can set forth kind of your agenda around fitness.
Oh, I see. And so how can you tell us a little bit about your transition from professional football to financial planning? How did that come about?
Sure. Well, I always knew that I wanted to be a business person, and education was key for me. And, as I mentioned before, I got paid to play and I got a scholarship. So when I knew that, getting an opportunity to get the education was kind of going to be the stepping stone for me, sports really was the compliment, was the opportunity. I got my education and I worked hard, diligently. I didn't have parties to go to. I went to a rural university in West Virginia. And, when I got my master's degree after 5 years there, I decided to continue playing sports. I had the NFL reach out, and then they were inquiring about who I was. So being 6'7", 85-inch wingspan, you can imagine I played an offensive line, blindside left tackle. I blocked for the quarterback. So, as I, pursued my career after obtaining my master's degree, I went pro. Spent some time in the league and had a great time doing it, but it fell short. I dehydrated. I didn't have enough, fluids, water in my body. And really that was kind of the downfall where it shut me down. And with that being said, I faced a very detrimental injury. Mm-hmm. And it put me in a position to where I lost my life. And it's such a time and a testimony that I relive every time I share my story, but I got a second chance at life because my heart stopped. And when I woke up and I was revived, I realized how important, my true values were, not just as a sportsman, but, really as a man of humility, a man of God, and a man that has values around my family. So that was the reason why, after going through that, detrimental accident, that I realized I had to hang up the cleats and, fall back on something that was a lot bigger than sports. When I transitioned, after the accident, and I rehabbed. It took about 8 months to learn how to walk again. I went in to surgery at 350 pounds, and going through that situation was so dynamic on my body that I spent 3 months hospitalized. And when I was in that situation, it took 3 months to learn how to rebuild from scratch. But obviously, when you think about it, when I left that situation, I was 280 pounds, and I had to rebuild from there. That's when I decided, to really not go back into a relapse, and really reinvent myself, and fall back on my education. So that was the transition for me after facing that tough situation in my life, which was a chapter, but it was a chapter I learned so much from. But I knew that there was so much more ahead, not only for community, philanthropy, but my family values. And that's when I decided to retire playing sports and get into the financial arena and become a financial planner.
Oh, and I see that you had a health scare and some health concerns, and you used health and fitness to help you recover and heal from that. Am I correct?
Correct. It was definitely a time in my life where, when you are training as an athlete, that's all you know. You know your routine, you know what you have to accomplish, you know your goals, and you make sure you get it done. Consistency is key. Never giving up, and always knowing that there's always light at the end of the tunnel. That was the focus. That was the platform. That was the way that I knew how to apply myself in the real world. Going through that accident, it was detrimental. And, when I think about it, it made me realize that from the beginning of my childhood, in the neighborhood, playing with my friends, and then transitioning into organized sports, I always had sports that allowed me to propel. And being an active person also showed me that there's a discipline, there is a philosophy, and there's an application that goes along with being a sports person. And this is really where I want to share a little bit of, sports, fitness, and health is really the key to success.
Sports, fitness, and health
is the key to my success.
Is the key to your.
Absolutely, Jessica. Growing up, my parents, they were more about the natural approach, the organic, homegrown, vegetables. And, when you think about it, I didn't grow up, with, the processed, foods where, they taste great. But, obviously when you think about growth and becoming strong, you really want to have your vegetables, your sweets, your potatoes, your corn, your broccolis. Those are what my family cooked, on Sundays when we had great dinners. And, absolutely your proteins are important as well. But when you think about the upbringing of, some of the cultures that are different, when you think about our islands, they are so rich in the sense of, their agriculture. We are able to produce, so many different types of fruits and vegetables. But when you think about it, it's an art. It's really the way that you live your lifestyle. And I believe in a healthy balance of food, nutrients, and what you put in your body. That helps you not only mentally, but it helps you be more assertive. It helps you, be mentally strong, and it helps you have a longer lifetime. And, with what you've mentioned, it's not to say that, different geographies of the world only eat certain types of products or foods. When you think about it, it's really your culture, your roots, what your grandparents fed your parents and what your parents are feeding their kids. So when you think about it, it goes back to, ancient times where when you had to grow your own crops, when you had to make sure that you had enough food for, the family of 10 to 15 that were coming over on Sundays, you had to feed all those mouths, and you weren't going to spend extra money, buying preservatives, because you wanted to make sure that they weren't talking smack about you when they left your house to say that, we ate good food, but then, when we get home, it's totally not going to be in our stomachs anymore. So when you think about it, eating healthy has been a part of my upbringing. And I feel that has helped me, becoming, the strong person that I am today, and also rehab. Because, facing injuries and, going through, situation where you're putting your body through stress, the best way to be able to really continue working out and continue being able to be strong is eating the right choice of food. So I do feel that, the choice of foods that were cooked in my household were more organic, more vegetables, and really proteins that really help me, grow strong bones.
Oh, okay, cool. What advice, because our seniors, a lot of slip and falls and different incidents that happen, and rehab is something that seniors have to go through more often than a lot of different age ranges. So what advice can you give our seniors that may be going through rehab right now? What advice can you give them to aid them in their recovery?
Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Motion is important, whether it's movement on a chair, whether it's movement walking around the neighborhood, whether it's you picking up, a fruit and just, doing motion and doing curls with what you're eating. I think that's really what's going to encourage our seniors to just continue thriving, and they'll be able to see longer lifespan. Because obviously, when you think about it, our bones get weaker as we age. But when you think about it, what allows, Silver Fox to keep rolling? She's a great phase in her life, but you would think that she's in her, her 20s. And that's amazing, because obviously when you think about what she's eating, what she, mentally is putting herself around, the right atmosphere, the right energy of other people build people. And obviously when you think about our seniors, by you being around motivated people who want to work out, who want to be able to accelerate their lives and really have another chance at, really applying fitness towards their day-to-day routines. Movement, motion is really the, key thing for our seniors today to consider. And don't stop. That's the message. Don't stop.
Don't stop, seniors, and motion.
You never want to stop learning. If you want to learn of what choices to make when you're shopping for your groceries, look online, ask a friend, reach out to Silver Fox and her campaign. She can really help advise you and really provide you with the expertise and knowledge. How do you really pick the right source of protein, the right vegetables, but at the same time, choices of food with a little bit of motion, but in the circle where people can motivate you is what's going to keep you consistent. And it's going to keep you consistent to keep going. Again, I go back to saying never stop learning, never stop hydrating, and never stop eating the right choices of food, especially when you get to that phase in your life where it becomes even more important. But when you think about all those things, you need motivation, you need support, you need a culture around you where you can feel comfortable, you can feel good about waking up and being in an environment where others are in the same phase of life of where you're at, but at the same time, you're uplifting each other. And I think, Silver Fox has an amazing, amazing campaign. I encourage all seniors to check her out. Listen, you may not get a seat at the table. Hurry up and join, because I'll tell you what, she is putting on some amazing, amazing workouts, has some great routines, bringing in specialists, and really bringing that added value where you're going to have a game plan. So I encourage all our seniors to keep moving, keep hydrating, learn about the choice of foods that you're putting in your body, and surround yourself with the winners who are moving, the winners who are in that circle of influence.
Yes. And this is just the beginning for Silver Fox. I am looking forward to seeing where it grows and how it expands, because this is so valuable, not only to seniors, but for fitness trainers, because a lot of times our seniors are forgotten in trainers and where they are. So we can really bridge the gap between our seniors, our trainers, and also people like me and you who just need to be that support and be that village for our seniors, because they were the village for us. So it's time for us to really give back in that area. So you really gave us some good pointers and some good motivation. And seniors, you can listen to this video again. It's going to be up on the page, up on the Silver Fox YouTube page, and the live stream is going to be available indefinitely. So Thank you so much, Mr. Doura. Let's talk about fitness and how it relates to finances.
Well, I think there's such a complement with fitness and finance. It's really, really putting your mind to work, but exercising your mind around things that are motivating. In my situation, fitness has allowed me to be more focused, more able to control my energy, and really put me in a position to where I feel healthy. When you think about what I do in my financial world, I apply the same things from fitness to my financial world. Because when you think about numbers, and you think about, strategies and those types of things, it's going to require energy. It's going to require you to be assertive. It's going to require you to be hydrated for your brain to be able to really, put those complex strategies together. So fitness allows me to really build momentum. I wake up at least 3 days a week, and the first thing that I do is I drink room temperature water. And then right after, I put my workout gear on and I'm heading outdoors for a jog. And I make sure that that's my sense of peace. That's my sense of calmness. That allows me to really, get a great start to my day, because when I get into my work gear and I'm now a financial person, if I don't get a workout in, it's like, well, wow, I'm having a longer day. It feels like it's dragging because there are days where there's more challenges than others. But when you think about it, the days that I wake up and I work out before any type of work, those are the days where I'm performing at my highest peak. So I feel that fitness is such a way not only to help you mentally, physically, and emotionally. And that's how you have a winning attitude. You feel better, you're able to, speak more better, and you're able to really connect with people because now your body has a sense of peace. It's like meditation. You want to be able to calm your mind, free your spirit. But at the same time, you have to be able to cleanse your body. And the way to do that is by at least getting a sweat in. And what better way to start the day than getting a sweat in? And then obviously that trickles down into you becoming more and more successful. And that's the way that I have been successful in finance.
With the time that we're in, and this pandemic and COVID running rampant, and it's really hitting our senior community right now. And can we talk about they're really open to it because a lot of the pre-existing conditions. And can we talk about that and how we can implement, how fitness helps relate to that and how it can aid in us being healthier for.
Absolutely. This pandemic has really, impacted the world. And when you think about our seniors, it's even more important now to connect, whether it's a virtual, workout or it's an in-person workout. It's just, moving in some capacity. And I do feel that because of what the world is facing today, fitness has become even more important. It helps you with your mental sanity. It helps you with your physicality. And it helps you, really strengthen the way that you are able to, see that there's always light at the end of the tunnel because your mind is working, your body is moving. And you can now apply that same energy with a virtual workout or an in-person workout. Socially distanced, of course, but when you think about that, because of what we're going through right now, these unprecedented times, the best way to get yourself going and motivated is to join a fitness club, is to learn more about what's out there. Ask questions of how to, see what classes are out there. What types of workouts are meaningful? Is it a stretch? Is it a physical endurance? Is it plyometrics? Really learning about what's out there in your community so you can also focus on yourself. Because when you think about self-love, that's really where you're able to really make a bigger impact with your own family. You got to love yourself first for you to be able to love others the same way. So when you think about it, applying yourself with the right community and being able to be a part of something that's even bigger than yourself, thinking about fitness has been such a key thing in keeping people together in this unprecedented time with the coronavirus. We don't know what's going to happen ahead of us, but things are, working itself out. But when you think about it, what's keeping your sanity at peace? Your meditation, the choice of foods that you put so you can have that good energy and you can feel motivated to go get a workout, sweat for 35 minutes, and really put yourself in a position where you're not going to have to worry about if you need a vaccine or if you need to, stay socially distant, because you know what? You're going to be able to have more control of your longevity. So I encourage seniors to ask why. Ask why haven't you learned about silver fox earlier? Ask why haven't you, looked at yourself in the mirror and made yourself accountable? Because when you think about it, it takes you, the person that you're looking at in the mirror, to be your biggest, not only supporter, but you can challenge yourself. And by challenging yourself, that means you're growing. And if you're not learning, if you're not challenging yourselves, that means you are slowly washing away. So the way that we want to encourage our seniors today is to stay motivated, get involved, ask those questions, reach out to Silver Fox, and find out where you can get your game plan to join the winners.
Mr. Doura, I think you have a future in motivational speaking. Do you?
Thank you, Jessica.
I need to look in the mirror and take accountability. So fill the Silver Fox family in on your future endeavors and plans, Mr. Doura.
Well, I'm blessed in so many ways. I could wake up every morning and thank God that I'm alive. So that's the first and foremost, what's more special every day, knowing that I get to wake up and breathe and, get a workout in. But, when you think about what I'm doing now, it's very philanthropic. I believe in philanthropy and I believe in paying it forward. I'm involved in, different, organizations, in the Tri-County, whether it's Families First in West Palm Beach, Boys and Girls Club in Broward, and, Big Brothers and Big Sisters in Miami, and really paying it forward by participating, being an activist in the community. I love to help organizations. I love to get involved in, whatever capacity I can to just be involved. I think that's what's most important. By me giving back my energy, resources, and time, I'm able to, get a sense of peace and humility out of that. Now, because of what has happened in this situation with the coronavirus, I'm, very motivated to helping, organizations and, really helping them understand how to become more sustainable. And in my financial world, I help, charities, and I help them, really attract, other, community influences to really help grow their organizations and really give back in the best ways that they can. So I'm working on a book, and, I really want to, share with the world that it's to be, soon out in the public and accessible for the many, to really not only, learn more about my story in sports, but also how it's going to help complement, nonprofit organizations with how they can, remain sustainable. And I think the weave of how that story is going to, share not only a testimony, but share ways to apply, strategies and concepts and really pay it forward to know that, organizations like nonprofits, they're the ones who are the backbone of, our United States. And I think obviously nonprofits are even now more global than anything. So, with what I'm working on, I think it's, going to be pretty exciting to just give you guys kind of a snippet as to what's to come. And I can't wait to, have, ways to be able to share more content as I'm building. But working on a book soon to come, and really share with the communities and organizations, just so they can understand that philanthropy is such a big part of my world, and I want to pay it forward. Now, I love also getting involved, with other types of businesses in the communities and just helping them also grow and really, attract the right types of people, help them with concepts to really grow their businesses, really bring value to organizations so they have a succession plan and they understand, well, what's the legacy of your business? Do you have a game plan to transfer it to, your next generation? So where I help with those businesses is really help them with strategic planning and really bringing them, value add so they can also say, well, this is not just something that I want to do as a hobby. This is a legacy that I really want to leave behind. And how do you do that? You put in strategies, concepts, and you bring guys like me who can share some of that information. And being educated with my master's degree and going through sports, transitioning into becoming a financial professional, I feel that now it's my time to pay it forward. So look out for me, reach out. Don't hesitate. Questions, you just want to grab a cup of coffee. There's so much, amazing things that are happening today. And I want to be able to share not only a testimony, but share ways that we can grow together and obviously be a resource, for our seniors to, prepare them, to understand how they can look at their benefits if they need to understand what they'll be receiving. From Social Security, how do we prepare for long-term care? How do we, start asking those questions about, well, how do we transition, our estate planning? Making sure you got those right wills, trusts, power of attorneys, really helping them get organized. So I really want to pay it forward and let the world know that I love, giving back in so many different capacities, whether it's, philanthropically with charities, helping businesses really think about, their successions, and then helping the individuals really get their affairs organized. So I'm a financial planner and I love what I do. I'm passionate about it. And I'm waiting for us to grab that cup of coffee.
Really? And where can we find you?
Absolutely. Well, you can find me on LinkedIn, Kristoffer Doura on LinkedIn. You can also find me on Facebook, Chris Doura Finance. And you can also find me on Instagram, So the Legend. And I think those are just 3 outlets where we can connect and, reach out to me directly through Silver Fox, because, she's, somebody that is a friend and not only a peer, but, with her being able to, provide you access to me, let's get a cup of coffee. Let's sit down and figure out where I can bring some value to your world.
Silver Foxes, we have reached the end of the road for our question and answer portion of our virtual Black Senior Fitness Fair. I hope you enjoyed all of our guest speakers and the information was useful and resourceful for wherever you are on your fitness journey. If you'd like to watch any of the interviews full length, please find us on YouTube at Silver Fox Elite Fitness.